Hey, what's up guys? It's Brian here, Brian's Lawn Maintenance. Hey, trust you guys are doing well. Another fun video for you guys. Today, I want to talk to you guys about the Exmark Staris and just a quick little 25-hour debrief and review. We've actually had our hands on this thing for a little over 2 to 3 weeks now, and a lot of you guys have been asking a lot of good questions and just wanted some honest reviews and some honest opinions about how the mower's been stacking up so far. Just got done cutting my commercial site here. It's actually a bright and early Sunday morning. Let me do a quick little walk around on the Staris, answer a bunch of questions that you guys have, some FAQs that I've been receiving from all the different mowing vlogs that we've been doing here lately. So that's it. Let's check it out right here, right now.
Make the ground shake.
Alright, so what's up guys, it's Brian here. So again, just trying to play a little catch up, actually pulled lawns ahead because we're gonna have another week full of rain, but a lot of you guys have been asking a lot of good questions about the Exmark Staris from a lot of our mowing vlogs here lately that you guys have really enjoyed, really appreciated. Actually, let me show you this really quick. This is where I have been mounting the GoPro. A lot of you guys have been asking, so it shoots out this way. And a lot of you guys have been really enjoying that mowing footage. By the way, appreciate all the comments and tips you guys have to keep me sharp and to help me get better as well. So a lot of you guys have been wanting to learn a little bit more of the Exmark Staris. This is a brand new machine for Exmark for 2019. As a lot of you guys know, this was provided to us from Exmark as we are partnering up with them. I don't take it for granted. I'm super thankful for that, very appreciative. But I told you guys on our very first initial 2019 trailer setup video that one of the things that I got to partner with Exmark and part of the whole opportunity to work together was you can't squelch the voice. You can't squelch anything I have to say, anything I want to say, as honest feedback as it can be, right? So a lot of companies, they say, yeah, sure, go ahead, no problem, right? And then I actually weigh in. And as you might notice that sometimes we don't partner with those companies 6 to 12 months later, right, on the channel. So I could drop some names, but it's just honest, man. You guys want real feedback, real reviews, and you know, good, bad, and ugly, and that's something I pride myself in. I know I could be a little bit more in depth and intense on some of the units, so I want to give you guys some good, bad, and ugly that we've already been experiencing with the Staris. But quite honestly, just kind of bake it in there to the fact that I'm a positive guy. You know, there's nobody's perfect. This is a brand new unit, brand new machine. There's bound to be some things that were going to be issues, even if they field test and double test and tested in California, tested in Florida, right, for 6 months, and then you make 10,000 of these things, and of course little things are going to pop up. So this is a 25-hour review, and I want to handle this in two fashions. Number one, just share with you guys my thoughts, my opinions, how it's been mowing, just really simple stuff that a lot of you guys who are Exmark folks and Exmark fans who have Vantages want to know about before maybe you decide to upgrade, and is it worth it, has it been a good machine. The other side of the coin is I want to talk to you guys who are not Exmark users but use a lot of the competitor brands like Skag V-Ride 2, Right Standard ZKs, and the Ferris Z3 seem to be a lot of you guys that own those units and want to know how this unit compares. I feel like we're probably one of the very few people in the country have used all those mowers, racked up a decent amount of hours on a lot of them. I'm not the expert, I don't have every answer, but I feel I can genuinely weigh in on a lot of those mowers. So let me handle this review in two fashions. The first one is for just a quick review for all of you guys that are Team Exmark and want to potentially upgrade, and then all of you guys that are not Team Exmark and not necessarily want to make the switch, maybe just yet. And if you don't, quite honestly, it doesn't bother my checkbook, but at the end of the day, I do want to let you guys know, just kind of comparing things out where the Staris weighs in on that lineup comparing to some of those other mowers that are out there. So without further ado, let's do a quick little walk around. Guys, let me give you the cliff notes and then we'll get into it. If I had to give the mower a review right now, or a grade 20-25 hours in, guys, B+, A-. Let's look at the hour meter first just to make sure that we have somewhere around 20 some hours. I think I'm at 23.9 right now, so 24 hours. So this is my not yet 25-hour review, right? So a couple things of point. Let me just go through the 5 or 6 things that a lot of you guys have been asking about. Number one was the brake lever. Has this been an issue for us being 5 feet 10 inches tall? Is it a lot of strain to, you know, drop the hammer down and then get to the tower to start mowing? The short answer is no, not really. Like, I know a lot of you guys are probably wishing that the handbrake was up on the tower somewhere. Ideally, I would agree. I would preferably like to see it mounted up here somewhere, maybe up here. After talking to the engineers with Exmark, they actually like having it down here and tucked away. Because this is your trim side, you can see how that handle kind of tucks in, and there's nothing really here to grab as you're going around trim side or under swing sets. I actually would have to agree with them. You know, guys, when you're an engineer and 10,000 million people want to weigh in on this whole thing or design a mower, you can't make everybody happy. But understanding where they're coming from with the lever, I see it. If you're 6 feet 4 inches tall, hey, sorry, the lever is a little low for you. However, you guys got to also realize that probably 95% of folks using this mower are between 5 feet 6 and maybe 5'10", 6 feet, average male height. So 95% of folks are not going to have an issue with that lever. I get it. If you're a little bit taller, I feel you. Unfortunately, there's just not really too many other spots to put the brake lever, okay? Visibility. A lot of you guys are always asking visibility. All right, so we're standing up here, and I like the fact that it's basically a cut clear approach to what I can see up front. I got really good viewing angle the whole way around. I can see my tires, okay? So I like being able to see all the way around. A lot of you guys asked the vantage point visibility. I think overall, you can see pretty much everything you're trying to see with the mower. The deck is just after the nose, so quite honestly, if you can see here, you can see pretty much everything that's going on. All right, so visibility was another one. While we're up here, the OCD. This is the Exmark OCD. It's quite honestly just the one that comes with the Ultra Cut Series 4 deck. You know what? I haven't had any experience with the grass flap, so I'm kind of curious to hear your guys' opinion. I have seen and heard a lot of guys mounting the lever system up here for the foot. That way you have your hands both on the PTO and the safety switch. Quite honestly, haven't got a chance to use the grass flap. But the Exmark OCD, it is very simple, very straightforward. I've had no issues with it. It is a little bit different getting to use your right hand though to keep this on the safety switch and then use my left hand. I feel like I'm more comfortable using my right hand, so many times I'm actually bringing my left hand over to use the OCD, or my right hand over to use the OCD. But honestly, hasn't really been an issue. The platform, switching it up, have we done that even once yet? The honest answer is no. Let's see if I can even do it for the first time. I'm sure this is caked in mud, so let's see what we're doing here. All right, so there you go. That's how you do it. That's as real as and authentic as it gets. I haven't really flipped this platform up once yet, but if you guys want to store it in the trailer, I could see how that could be more beneficial for you guys trying to stack 3 0 turns or 3 standers in an enclosed trailer or utility trailer. I haven't really done that personally. So when a Laser Z comes up, just like imagine this platform being right in this little pocket. It's not really been an issue probably for any mower, so I really don't think you guys would have any issues with it as well. I guess the profile, it might stick out about 1 inch, maybe 2 inches, so don't really feel like you're losing any room or gaining any room really if it's up, because my 0 turn casters will bump into this back wheel guard here. So like it, no issues with it, no problems. All right, moving on really quick. The deck lift assist. There was some issues with this. I'm just going to shoot it straight. They've already have some completion kits and some reworks in the dealer network and everything going on with the mower. So this whole components tree here, for the most part, is fine. But if you cut at the 3/4 mark, the way this pin goes in, sometimes if you hit a divot, the way the deck lift assist can drop down, it can actually scalp a lawn. A lot of you guys have shot me DM messages on Instagram. Exmark already is aware of 6 or 7 little issues on the whole mower, but the cool thing in true Exmark fashion, this mower's been out for like less than 6 to 8 weeks. Everything's already been handled. There's already the soft, I wouldn't say recall on them all, but they're getting fixed and they're getting upgrades, and they're getting all these things paid attention to, which is really good. That's true Exmark fashion. Like, for real, dealer support is everything and a company support is everything, and I feel like that is keeping the Exmark name what it is and what I expect out of those kind of guys. So no real complaints so far. I'm trying to think of other talking points. We have not changed the oil on the unit yet. We have not had to service the hydros yet, so I can't give an in-depth review on all of that, so I do apologize. Another thing was the exhaust and the muffler. I guess with ANSI standards, this tailpipe was supposed to be a little bit longer. The exhaust pipe was supposed to be a little bit longer. Getting a little paint fade here. You can just clean it up really quick, not that big of a deal. But a lot of you guys were asking about that. Haven't had any issues with having to change the belts just yet. I'm sure at 100 or 250 hours, I can weigh in more under the hood type stuff. But again, this is just an initial 25-hour review. Now, how about hill stability? You know, of all the stand-ons that I've used so far, I would have to say between the Ferris Z3X and this one, they probably hold the hills the best. I do feel like there's a lot more hill stability when you're on a hill with this mower and the Ferris Z3X. I would attribute this one's success to the fact that like 70% of all the weight is in this main tower over the rear axles, because you got the engine, the hydros, everything is just stacked on top of each other right here in this tower. I feel like the Z3X, it just has a really wide wheelbase. And again, that engine and the hydros, I feel like very low center of gravity. The other units aren't bad, like the Skags and the Wrights or anything like that. I would say in terms of holding a hill, this has been just as good as everybody else. Now, guys, I will say this too. There's been many times where I've taken a hill nose first, it's been wet, and yes, I'm doing the cascade right down the hill, just like any other mower, okay? So it's not impervious, but in terms of hill stability, A-, B+. I'm not sure what you guys want to do a little rating system here for Brian's Law Maintenance, but it hasn't been an issue. So here's the deal, quick little walk around. So far, so good. One other question I wanted to weigh in on was a lot of you guys were asking the productivity between the Staris stand-on and the Laser Z and which one I prefer. And I got to be honest with you guys, when it's wide open, large acreage, and some of my commercial sites, I've really been digging the Laser Z. But I will say this, the Staris to me on my residential sites seems to be as productive as my Laser Z, and here's why. I feel like I'm much more have more maneuverability. I think that's the best way to say it. There's much more maneuverability with the stand-on unit versus the Laser Z. In terms of my turnaround time, my finesse, the ability to get in and move and you know, jut out around a bed, so on and so forth. I personally feel like in my residential subdivisions, you can only go so fast, you can only get into so many tight spaces, and I feel like the footprint, I think the biggest selling point for me is the footprint of the Staris, or any stand-on, is a game changer for me in those subdivisions. And by the way, we're talking 4,000 square foot posted size subdivision style homes, really nice homes, but just smaller yards. I feel like the stand-ons leaves a smaller footprint, less mud and tire tracks. We've had a lot of rain, and so I feel like the stand-on has been a lot easier. I'm curious to know if you guys have noticed a smaller, lighter footprint with your stand-ons compared to your big zero turns when you're doing your residential subs. So in terms of productivity, I feel like they're evenly matched in the subdivisions. Wide open acreage, of course, I think the Laser Z is going to take it just because you got a 60-inch deck and it's wide open. You can make those big fast passes, but ground speed is actually pretty similar with the Staris. I just feel like the footprint is a little less aggressive in terms of tearing up the lawns with the tires, and also just the footprint with, you know, running the grass into ruts when it's super wet out. All right, the last thing I want to do and just kind of wrap up with 2 or 3 minutes of thoughts here is comparing it to a Skag V-Rite 2, a Wright ZK, or help me out, the Ferris Z3X. Now, let's go through each one, comparing it to the Ferris Z3X. I think the Ferris and the Wright ZK are kind of in a class of their own. That's one thing that I really have learned the last 12 to 18 months, and that's something that I have also now realized and perpetuated that thought over the last 6 months or so. The Ferris and the Wright, they're just in a different class. In fact, I was talking to the engineering team at Exmark and I said, hey, do you ever see you guys mounting a 37 Vanguard EFI oil guard engine onto this mower? And they said, well, like in a selling and marketing aspect, that sounds good, it looks good, but it's completely realistically unnecessary. This mower is 25 or 24.5 horsepower, and it's a 52-inch cutting deck. Like, that is, in engineering world, like a perfect marriage of power and distribution of weight and blah, 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 right? When you're looking at the sales and marketing side of a lawnmower brand and a lawnmower company, you're talking about 37 EFI, and it turns into like a male, you know, like buy the Corvette and then buy the Hellcat. It's like, it'll make you more of a man. Like, that's how it is with lawnmowers now. You guys got to realize they're selling us equipment just as much as like we're looking at cars and trucks. Okay, get the Hemi. Okay, and this is just real. Like, I'm trying to give you guys real life. Like, hopefully you can appreciate the honesty. A 37 Vanguard oil guard system on this mower would be completely unnecessary. I think on like the 72s of the Wrights and the Ferris, and you want that big engine and blah, 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 like sure, it totally makes sense. But again, apples and oranges, we're in different class of mowers. This would compete against a V-Ride 2, a Gravely Pro Stance, a Toro Multiforce, and Grandstand. Trying to come up with some other ones off the cuff, but hopefully that makes some sense to you guys. This unit I would not compare to a Z3X or a Wright ZK. So those mowers, I feel like they're kind of in a league of their own with power and performance, but at the same point, I don't think you need all of that mower. However, at the same point, I will say that if that's what your dealer sells, dude, go with the Ferris Z3 and go with the Wright ZK. Like, I have nothing bad to say about those mowers. They're both really good units. Now, comparing this to, let's talk about the Skag V-Ride 2. I think that's the other big question that a lot of you guys have, and we'll probably wrap that up with this one because I don't want this to be uber lengthy, is the fact of the Skag V-Ride 2 Velocity Cut Deck, or Velocity Plus, or whatever it's called, versus the Series 4, Series 6, the Ultra Cut Deck, Exmark versus Skag. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I like the Skag Velocity Cut Deck. It's a really good cutting deck, especially in wet grass. I don't think you could really go wrong with a Skag V-Ride 2 in any capacity. Now, I don't want to ruffle any feathers here, but if I was looking at warranty and dealer support, and I was looking at brands that stick behind their mowers, I'm gonna go with Exmark a little bit more than I'm gonna go with Skag. But I will say this, in terms of the Skag V-Ride 2, that is a great mower. It cuts well. I was really impressed with its stripe game, and quite honestly, I don't think you can go wrong with either mower again in that category. I guess at the end of the day, you guys just really need to decide what mower makes the most sense for you and for your business. I've always said, number one, start with your dealer. Whatever they sell, roll with it. The nearest dealer for me, 10 minutes away, is Weingart's. They're an Exmark dealer. And guys, 12 years ago, I got started with Exmark, and that's why I've remained a big Exmark guy. I love Exmark, and we've been using their equipment. Again, for me personally, I can't really use the other brands. They're an hour to 2 hours away. It just, I can't justify that travel time, that breakdown time, the so on and so forth. Plus, there's a huge relationship that I built with a decade with my local dealer. So if you guys are in the market, it's not just go Exmark. Don't just make a decision based on the fact that I'm using Exmark. If I had to tell you where to make your decisions and that thought process, which we've done a ton of videos on, start with your dealer, then start with the brand. If you have a Toro dealer nearby, you're probably going to be more of a Toro guy than drive an hour and a half away to go pick up a Wright, a Skag, or an Exmark, all right? So anyway, this is my 25-hour honest review. Whether you like what I have to say or not, hey, I'm not gonna apologize for anything I have to say. I'm trying to shoot it straight for you guys, and I think you guys have been really appreciating the honesty. I've always tried to keep it honest since day one, but I feel like a lot of you guys want a little bit more juicy meat and potatoes, a little bit more of the, how do I really feel? How do I really think? Okay, so again, I'm not the answer guy. I'm just another resource. Hopefully you guys appreciate this stuff, but so far, 25 hours in, been a great mower. I haven't had really any issues with it. I know there's some issues that some folks are having, but they already have it all basically wrapping up with recalls and fixes, so it shouldn't be an issue. And if anything else does pop up, of course, I'll let you guys know. Next up, I guess we'll do a 100-hour review on the unit, let you guys know. That'll probably take us about another 4 to 6 weeks to put some more hours on it, and we'll weigh in and let you guys know. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to click the little subscribe button here. Oh, I got my little dirty finger here from the muffler. And by the way, if you guys want to watch some other fun videos, check out these guys over here. All right, guys, over and out. Bye-bye.